fucking. OBS keeps crashing on me. Sorry about that.
So this is where I discovered it's really handy to have streaming set up for Zoom as well. And that way, if OBS or whatever is being a real annoying, you know what, you can just say screw it and tell Zoom to do it for you.
Yep.
As a backup.
So my goal for the next stream I'm doing, CZ and I was talking about this. I have another laptop. I'm gonna get OBS set on that. We're gonna zoom into that one, and then let it own it instead of doing it from my laptop too. Hopefully it'll work more next time. I gotta play with it first. So I'm sorry for everyone who's that's watching this, flap. Anywho.
Now, just so that you know, Zoom on Windows, on newer versions, have a weird rendering scheme which stopped them working with OBS. And you have to change a setting that I can't remember. But remember I told you this, and you can ask me and I'll find that setting for you.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay. So we're in here now. And we've got it working. So let's get our single homeboys up and running. Okay. This guy. So you were saying we just have to go to the deployment.yaml and oops.
Yeah, because they don't need services or anything, because they don't need to be exposed to anything. So all you need is two copies of this file.
The actual file? Or just... I think...
Well, you're going to have 3 deployments, right?
Yes.
So make a separate deployments file for each app. So one for the deferred jobs, they called it, and one for the agents.
So DJ deployment.yaml.
Now, is anyone going to look at that and understand what that does? Like, what does DJ mean?
It's what he called it here.
Yeah, but what's it actually running? And let's give it a...
Delay job.
Delayed job. So let's call it... so usually you do deployment dash, and that way your deployments are all grouped together when you do like an LS or whatever. Yeah. Delayed job.
And
job. Do a dash. Yep. Perfect.
Excuse me. All right.
Why don't you just copy in like CP deployment dash delayed job and CP deployment to deployment dash agent, I think was the other one. Or is it agent runner? Something like that.
Something like that. Agent runner.
Agent runner. Yep. Cool.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
There we go.
So a couple of things to think about now is you're going to be using the same image. That's good, but you don't necessarily want the same number of replicas for all 3 deployments. So you need to, in your values, provide 3 replica settings, 1 for each deployment. So let's look at your values file.
Okay.
And where do we specify replicas? Replica count, right at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do, usually you would do it per...
Hang on. God damn it. Delayed. There we go. Deployment.
You just deplayed yourself.
I did. Delay. Job.
Capital J. Yeah. You got it. You
like
know what
that?
you're doing. Yeah. And then one for agent runner.
Yep. Job.
Yeah. So the other thing you want to do, I'll let you finish this up first.
Yep. Agent runner. Like that?
Yeah, and then you should probably namespace the original one under web.
Mm. Like so?
Yep. So the other thing you need to do is make sure that your names and labels are okay, right? And so the names, you would usually just do -web -delayed job -agent runner.
Hang
Under
on.
metadata. Yeah, no worries.
There we go. Okay. So delay job. Which one was it? I'm sorry.
So yeah, under here at the end, after the double curly brace,
Mm-hmm.
you'll do delayed -job.
Okay.
And then under labels, you would also want to add a label for no. So let me talk how the labels work. See how the name and labels are both using include.
Yes.
So in the templates directory, there's a helpers.tpl. And that are small little functions that do some work, right? And so that's how it's basically defining a name and making sure that name's not too long. It's defining a full name, making sure that it's not too long. And it's looking at like different options and values and stuff to figure out what to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you scroll down to common labels, you'll see there's a set of common labels. So app Kubernetes name, app Kubernetes instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're looking at, oh wait, yes, that's right. And then there's selector labels,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so you'll want to add, not in here, but I just wanted to show you how those are done,
Mm-hmm.
is you'll want to add a label to the app, but also a label to the services selector to make sure the service only tries to send you to the web and the deployments, etc., only scale up the correct pod templates.
Got it.
Right? And so if you go back to your, no, you don't do it here, because this template has no idea this is just dumb functions. They don't know what's going on inside the deployment.yaml.
Mm.
So in the deployment.yaml, you would add an extra label in each one. And you would be like component is pretty common, :web component : agent runner. You don't need to include anything here. You just do just a key value pair. So component : yeah.
Component. Int. No.
ENT. You
Okay.
got it. Yeah, : no, same line. And then just web, if this is web. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, and then I would also set his name to be -web. Just so when you're doing your kubectl get pods, it's very obvious what's what.
Okay.
And then see under your selector right below.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. you'll want to add that same component web in there. I think there was some Kubernetes like .io/app or something in the labels, so we should probably keep consistent naming. So just flip back to your helpers. Yeah, see how it's got app Kubernetes IO / stick that prefix in front of. And I don't think, no, in front of component, not in front of web. Yeah. Now, I don't think, though, that prefix does anything yet, but the app's SIG has been trying to get people to use a consistent set of labels so they can become something that are richly used later.
What's SIG?
Special interest group.
What does that mean?
You'll want to add the app Kubernetes / in front of that label as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like that?
So the special interest groups are folks in the Kubernetes community that are interested in a particular part of Kubernetes. So the app SIG includes things like Helm, basically probably customized as well, so things that help you run applications on Kubernetes. Much like there's a, I think, cluster API special interest group, which is a pretty obvious thing what they care about.
So databases?
There's even a community SIG. There's a like contributors SIG, I think, that are focused on trying to make the new Kubernetes contributor experience better.
Cool.
Just a way of breaking up all the crazy amount of work involved in something like Kubernetes into things that people can just work on their little section.
Nice. Agent runner. And like that.
Yeah, and change his name. Yep.
That's good.
So component. And then the other thing you'll need to do is change the command for the agent runner and delayed jobs. And you'll also need to change them to use the right replicas value. Oh no, you did that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Command. Which command?
So there's probably not one currently listed because it's just using the default Docker file command. So in your containers under the template, under name, at that same indent level as name, image, etc., you'll want a command. And it should be whatever the command was.
For we're looking at delayed job. Delayed job. So he has 3 running. So we should probably do that, right?
Well, that's the joy of being out setting replica sets. We can choose when we install from Helm. We can choose how many we need because it's going to depend on what load you expect to have. So what you just did isn't quite right.
Okay.
So you have your command, and then you have args. So you want to have run under args. You can, or you don't have to quote. And that args is a list. Yep. And so here's where I would usually use square bracket list instead of extra lines.
Yeah. You
no, that was at the right. No, you want that at the same in Dando's command. Yeah. Yeah, and you want to have, because that's 2 arguments in there, right?
Okay.
Perfect. You got this. And so you want to paste that same set pair into agent runner as well. And obviously change the script to probably agent runner.
Yep.
.rb. Huh. Isn't that funny? One's bin agent runner, the other one's script delayed jobs.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
And there was no run. There was no second argument there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I believe that is all we need. We'll need to update the service to only use the web component label that we just added.
Service.
So if you go back to the straight deployment.yaml,
Mm-hmm.
and copy and paste the component web line, and then go to the service.yaml. And then under labels, you want to add that in there. Yeah.
Ah, yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, makes sense.
Right.
Do we want to put
So
service here?
well, I mean, it's a service. We know that.
I guess it's true.
Yeah. So some folks do that, and I've always pushed back against it because, like pin number, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that is all we need to do there. So
We can upgrade. We can upgrade.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Wah, 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 wah.
upgrade. Ooh.
Invalid type for. Oh yeah, command should be a array as well. I forgot. So the deployment's fine. We didn't add it there. It's for the other 2. Yeah. And the same thing, because it's YAML, you don't need to quote things, but I feel like when you get to things like arrays, it just makes it much easier to read.
Mm-hmm.
We did update the replicas selected does not match template labels. What? Deployment. Huh? What are we missing? Instance Hugan, name Hugan. So we're missing something in the agent runner spec. So go to deployments agent runner under template metadata labels. Yeah, okay. So there's that third place we need to have.
Hmm?
So under spec template labels.
Mm.
And she'll need to do that in the other 2 as well. If we haven't. Oh no, we did an agent runner. Did we do it in deployment?
No.
Yeah.
Good job. And then deployment. Right here. Web.
Yeah.
Yay!
Wicked. So if you do a get pods,
Or just watch
so
screen.
I like to do a get pods and make sure they're not sitting there on like waiting to start because there's some misconfiguration.
Container controlling.
Yeah. So you could do get pods -- watch, and that way you'll see as they.
Nope.
Yeah. So in theory, you'd see their log starting to come up now. When you do watch, it will, as things change, it'll add a new line with those changes.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. So you got dash web, you got dash agent runner. Looks good.
It's like we know what
So
we're.
dash.
It's like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
The echo
So
is.
dash web
drives
is
me
trying
crazy.
to do its database migration, which is done. This is looking good. So let's go to the web page.
Yep. It's up. The
Oh,
health check. That's it.
yep.
And refresh.
Mm-hmm.
Log in. Add new password.